Hello, it's Taz in the kitchen. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Memorial Day. I have had a great Memorial Day. I have been in the kitchen creating new recipes. You know it's new whenever I have the pieces of paper. And I have the paper because it's like, do I even remember what I did? Hello, Lydia, thanks for joining me. So I have to write everything down. And I've got the grill going, so I've got this Ninja grill going, so hopefully everybody can hear me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put our chicken on. What I decided that I was going to do was I wanted summer, but I wanted a healthy twist on it. So what I did was I did what I'm calling glazed chicken. And I'm calling it glazed chicken because it's not truly barbecue chicken. So I had chicken thighs that were skinless and boneless, and I'll show you those. And then I had some chicken legs. So I'm gonna put 2 chicken legs on the grill. And we're gonna let them start cooking. And they are already sizzling. So we'll let them cook. And we'll get them added here. And I've got the grill on about 395, 400 degrees. And so I set it for about 17 minutes. These are some fairly thick drumsticks or legs. And so they need to get to about 170 degrees, 175 degrees. And so then I'll know that they're done. I did the skinless, boneless chicken thighs, and they needed to cook to about 160, 165 degrees. So let me tell you what all I did. Okay. I got all this stuff behind me because I'm over here and I just don't have enough space. But let's listen. Ooh, I did so much. I want it different, okay? So I washed my chicken thighs and my drumsticks. And so what I did was I took soy sauce and I took salt and pepper. And what else did I put in the marinade? Salt and pepper, soy sauce, and buttermilk, onion powder, and I used garlic powder. And so I put all that together and I put it in my trusty resealable plastic bag. And I let it marinate overnight. You didn't really have to let it marinate overnight, but I did because I like to do that. Thanks for joining me. Lord, NT40. And so I did that because I like for the flavor to really get into the meat. And also with the buttermilk tenderizes my meat. And even though the boneless chicken thighs were boneless and skinless, I knew they were going to be tender anyway. But I wanted to just let the flavor meld through. So I let it marinate overnight, took it out, let it get to room 10. So then basically what you just saw me do with the 2 chicken legs, I basically did the same thing with my thighs. And so I made a barbecue sauce. And let me show you what I put on my barbecue sauce. Now I just absolutely love G. Hughes. And so I happen to have just the original barbecue sauce in my pantry. So I said, let me use the original one this time. I used that one, and then I had some wing sauce. So I did the mango habanero wing sauce. And so I added that together. I used a cup of the barbecue sauce, and it was a brand new bottle. So I used a cup of this, and this was a brand new bottle too. And I used a 1/3 cup of the mango habanero wing sauce. Then what I did was I put a 1/2 teaspoon of my trusty granulated onion and then my garlic. A 1/2 teaspoon of each. Then I said, okay, no pepper because I could taste a little kick from the habanero. So I've got people who don't necessarily like hot and spicy like I do. So I said, let me add a tablespoon to maybe 2 tablespoons of Nate's organic raw unfiltered honey. And that will kind of meld it out a little bit. And the person told me it did meld it out because they didn't taste any spiciness. But when I was putting it together, it was spicy. As my mother would say, it was hot and kicking, hot and popping, I think is what she says. So what I did was I put all that together in my pot, and then I let it just simmer for about 45 minutes, okay? I let it simmer for 45 minutes. And because I wanted to glaze my chicken, I didn't want to do barbecue chicken, even though I love barbecue chicken. I wanted to glaze it. So I let the chicken cook. So basically I grilled the chicken, I turned it halfway, through the cycle, and then I let it cook on the other side. So what I want to do is show you what my chicken looked like. Now here is a pan. There's a pan with a whole lot of stuff on it, because I'm going to have to taste this. Because if I don't taste it, it just wouldn't be good. Be like, she brought this food out here, didn't taste it. Now, I want you to see what the chicken looked like before I glazed it, okay? Now I'm bringing the pan so you can see that, she was really cooking. And then I'm going to show it to you like this one anyway. This is chicken thigh, and then this is the leg. Here, I just glazed it. Excuse me, I just grilled it. I put no sauce on it at all, okay? This is just grilled. Just grilled. Now, here is where I should have turned the camera, and my cameraman is gonna say to me, why did you not turn the phone? Because I didn't. But here you see, this is where I glaze the chicken. And you can see, it's saucy. Now it's saucy, but it ain't southern saucy. But it's saucy, and it's good. And I'm gonna taste it. So this is my glazed chicken. Okay. And here's the sauce. Here's the sauce that I use to glaze my chicken. Okay. Let me take a look at these legs. Oh, they doing good. They doing good. Well, I'm trying to be in the summer mood. Well, I'm really in the summer mood. But I'm like, okay, you can't eat much, and you got to make sure that whatever you eat, you get some protein. So we know that my chicken is going to give me my protein. Well, I do have to have some vegetables too. And, having had gastric sleeve, sometimes I just can't get everything in all the time. So it's like, okay, what you gonna do? Oh, I feel like a Klondike bar. My humor. Well, let me show you what I did. I made this bowl, and no, I'm not gonna eat all this by myself, but I already got a plan for it. Because if for some reason it's not eaten, I got a plan for it, how I'm gonna make sure it doesn't go to waste. I made this coleslaw. Now, I never made this coleslaw before. So, as I stated, today I was in the kitchen just inventing everything. So, this coleslaw has green cabbage, which I want you to see. Yes, she was actually shredding green cabbage herself. Yep. I was cutting green cabbage up. I was told, your knife skills are not the best. Can you cut it a little smaller? It got better as I kept, slicing. But then I wanted purple cabbage too, because I like purple cabbage. Plus, I wanted something that was pleasing to the eye. I wanted something pleasing to my eye. So I used a cup of purple cabbage, and then I used a cup of green cabbage. I also used some green onions. I want you to see this one, because this is what's left out of this pack. Now, I didn't use the whole pack. But I used green onions because I wanted something different. I didn't want red onions, and I didn't want, regular white or yellow onions. I wanted something that was going to dress it up. Because anytime I use green onions, it adds a different type of flavor. And my mother always used green onions in her dressing. even though we're not doing dressing right now. But she always used green onions in her dressing. She never used regular onions. So for me, green onions or scallions, you know, it's like eating how and how. So I'm like, if you're gonna have coleslaw, let's dress it up because you don't get coleslaw often. So I used that. Then I decided, after I made my dressing, which I'll share that with you, I'm like, you don't have enough stuff here. So I had an orange pepper that I sliced. I put that in there. Then I added 1 apple. And it was a red apple, but it wasn't a red delicious because it wasn't bright enough. It was just a 1 note. And I didn't want a 1 note dish. So I'm like, okay, we got to do something with this. So let's just flip this chicken over too, because we don't want just one side to be cooking and the other not. And of course, you know I'm going to show you this chicken. So it's cooking. It is actually grilling. So let you see, we grilling. And so it just wasn't what I wanted. So, you know, anytime I'm always, thanks for joining me, Michael. Anytime I'm cooking, as I said to the person that was my sous chef, at least for the app, I'm like, you know, after I've done it, I can correct it. Because again, I'm shooting in the dark sometimes until I actually taste it. And it tasted great. It just was 1 note, and I needed something different. So I got all those things together. So we've got a cup of green cabbage, we got a cup of the purple cabbage, I've got 1 orange pepper in there, I've got the apple, and I've got a bunch of green onions. And whatever you look at as a bunch, because I didn't measure, it was just a bunch, about 3 or 4 of them, those stalks was a bunch. Then what I did was, I took a half a cup of dukes. Light dukes. Now guys, you know I had to do light dukes. I remember Mama using dukes when I was a little girl making potato salad. I don't think she used dukes now, but we'll see. But you know, I grew up on Duke. I'm Southern. So I had light Duke's mayonnaise. Then what I did was, I got introduced to this brand of yogurt. And I like it. And it's whole milk, but I like it. I eat so little, whole milk is fine. Plus, it's 18 grams of protein, so that's for 3/4 of a cup. So I like it. I put a half a cup of the CG's yogurt, because I'm building out the dressing now. Half a cup. So you know, that was almost my 18 grams of protein. So like I said, I got plans for this coleslaw if it doesn't get eaten. Because you see, it's protein packed already. Then what I did was, I used about, I think, because I had to adjust this. I used a half a teaspoon of some great value stone ground mustard. Just a half a teaspoon. Okay. All right. Then what else did I do? I use half a teaspoon of my onion powder and half a teaspoon of my garlic powder. Use 2 tablespoons of my Bragg vinegar. You know, Bragg's good for everything. Use 2 tablespoons of my Bragg vinegar. And I put about 2 tablespoons of honey. Now you can do this to taste, because I started to taste it. I'm like, it's still that 1 note, so I had to add a little more. But about 2 tablespoons, but it's about what you want. I was going to do artificial sweetener, but then I thought, you know, they tell me my artificial sweetener has an aftertaste. I don't taste it. I'm used to it, I guess. I like it, but I use sweetener. I use the honey instead. I think it's good. I didn't think that it had enough salt and pepper. So I went back and I added some more, I grounded some more pepper and some more pink Himalayan salt. So again, I was just doing this to taste, okay? Just to taste. Let me see, have I left anything out for the, because I know I left one thing out, but that's my baby. Okay. Then, you know, my father is retired and he has a garden. He has a green thumb. I'm trying to get a green thumb. And I'm doing pretty good. So this year, I'm going to share some photos soon. I've taken them, I just haven't shared them yet. Go figure. I have tomato plants. I got 2 different kinds, okay? And so, gotta watch my chicken. I got 2 different kinds, but I also have celery leaves in addition to other things. So, this is my celery. These are my celery leaves, and they're doing so well. So I've already harvested some and dried them. So I'm going to continue to do that. So I took some of my celery leaves and I chopped them up into the dressing that I was making. So I mixed all that together, and then I poured it over my cabbage, which was red cabbage, my purple cabbage, I guess I should say, my purple cabbage, my green cabbage, my apple, and my green onions, and my orange pepper. And I mixed everything together, and then I let it, marinate, because it marinated, and sit in the refrigerator. And it sat in the refrigerator, and so it smells good. And when I was making it, it almost made me think of like a Caesar salad dressing. Because it kind of has that smell to it, because it doesn't smell like regular mayo dressing, okay? It almost has like a Caesar salad dressing smell. But anyway, here it is, and it's colorful, and I wanted it to be colorful because, again, I eat so little, so I wanted to appeal to my eyes as well as appeal to my taste buds, and I do like it. So there's that. Now, what I need to do is I want to check my chicken to see just what the temperature is on my chicken, because I don't want to be cooking it and then it gets too done. Oh, it's coming. Ooh, it's coming along. Wow. Oh, one piece is just about done. So when this cycle ends, it'll be done. We'll call it a done deal. Yeah, we'll let it finish cooking out. And when it ends, it's going to be in. That's going to be it. We're going to let that end this. So it turned out really well. So I'm going to taste the chicken, and we're going to taste the coleslaw. Then we're going to put my dessert together, okay? And of course, it's going to be protein packed. So I'm going to grab a plate, which is right here, as my friend would say, and you did not turn the camera. No, I did not turn the camera. I got a little bit of coleslaw right there for me, a little bit of coleslaw. And what I'm going to do is I am taking that drumstick that was glazed. I'm dropping it right there. I dropped it right there. And here is my knife and my fork. And I haven't tasted the chicken, so this will be the first time I taste it. But I was told that it tastes pretty good. So we're going to see what it tastes like. So I slice into this. It is good. Now, for me, what I will do, and I did not bring a label over here. Let's see if I can just dribble some over here. Oh, the grill is done. Those legs are done. The salt is right on point. Because sometimes the salt don't be on point, but the salt is right on point. It's not overly seasoned. It's good. I wanted to taste the sauce with the chicken, so I wanted to drop a little bit of barbecue sauce there. so I can taste it. Let me grab a little bit of it here so that you can see it. See a little bit of that sauce there. It's good. It's good. I put too much honey. It's taking my little kick from that habanero away. But that's you know, it's very easy to do. All I gotta do is add a little bit more, or add a little crushed red pepper. It'll give me that kick, or some black pepper. Because I added no pepper because I knew the habanero was gonna come through. But I like it. I like it. Now, let me see what my coleslaw tastes like. This has been refrigerated now for about an hour and a half. I really like this. One, I got a crunch still, which is so important to me. Two, I can taste the orange pepper. I can taste the green onions, and I can taste the apple. It's almost, well, it is actually. It's a perfect bite. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Now, we have to make my dessert. Now, let me tell you, we're making this dessert for the first time. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I'm telling you, I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but we're doing it for the first time. I wanted a dessert that would give me protein. I thought about fruit. There are fruits that have protein in it, but I have to eat so much of that. But I'm like, okay, you can bake a cake and you can put protein in it. True, I'm working on a recipe, but it's not perfected yet. I'm like, now what else can you do? Then I thought, oh, you can make a mousse. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to make a mousse. As I look to see. I'm gonna have to grab a spoon also when I grab my yogurt from in the refrigerator. But we're gonna make a mousse, and we're gonna use CG's yogurt. I've got, how much do I have? I've got 4 ounces, and then I decided I wanted to put 1 heaping tablespoon. Probably won't need it, but I thought put it in there because as I mix up the 2 tablespoons of my pumpkin protein powder, I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be too much protein powder or not enough yogurt. So I said, okay, you can't go wrong because this is protein and this is protein. So put an extra tablespoon of the yogurt. And the 2 tablespoons of the protein powder is gonna give me 9 grams of protein, okay? So we're gonna mix the yogurt and the protein powder. And we're gonna see what we have, okay? So I'm grabbing my yogurt because I knew my yogurt was going to get warm while we were out here having a great time talking about the glazed chicken, the coleslaw, and my celery leaf plant. So let me grab this out of the fridge. Here I am, here I am, here I am, here I am, here I am. Oh yeah, here I am, here I am. So I've been chilling this little glass. Here I am, here I am. So here's the yogurt, the yogurt, the yogurt, the yogurt. Okay. So here's my little bowl that we're going to mix it in. Maybe. Who knows what I'm going to do with that? So we need, yeah, I'm going to put it over here. 2 tablespoons. Now, if my mama was here and I was doing this the way I was taught to do this, but I don't have a knife that I can use, I would be taking a knife to smooth that over to make sure that it is a complete tablespoon and not extra. But I don't have a knife over here, so we're gonna have to eyeball it and hope that I'm doing it correctly and that the amount is correct. So I'm having to shake off the extra here. Shake it off. Channeling my Taylor Swift here. We're gonna shake it off. Okay, so we've got the tablespoon, the 2 tablespoons of my protein, pumpkin flavored protein. Now guys, because I want to make sure this does not become a mess on the floor for me to clean up, so let's just put the lid over this. Okay, so here we are. I did have a spoon in it, I forgot. So we're going to start smoothing this together. We're going to do it slowly because I've got to incorporate the yogurt. Now maybe I should have let it set out, because now what we're dealing with is cold yogurt versus room temp, but I didn't want it to be cold when I didn't want it to be room temp rather when I started to taste it for you. I wanted it to be chilled. So here I am now trying to incorporate the yogurt and the pumpkin protein powder, but it's getting there. We'll add some more now. It's getting there. And I chose to, I'm probably gonna put both of them there. I couldn't make up my mind whether I wanted to put blueberries or whether I wanted to put pecans. I wanted a texture contrast, but also I like pumpkin. So I like pumpkin that has nuts in it. Like if I was gonna make a pumpkin bread, or if I was gonna do pumpkin pie or pumpkin bread pudding, you know, I like my nuts. Nuts are full of protein, so I like my nuts. So I said, well, since you want to make sure you have protein, let's do both. And so we'll just put both of them there, or whatever you're feeling at that point. Well, all that says to you guys is whatever you want. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You know, I could have, I have strawberries in the fridge. I could have put strawberries. I just chose to do the blueberries. I have some frozen berries out in the freezer. I could have used a berry medley, but I was just like, no, let me do the blueberries and then sprinkle some, my little glass gonna be, this is not gonna fill my little glass, but it's gonna be more than enough for me, believe you me. And let me be honest, I'm not gonna be able to consume all this tonight. I can tell you that. Protein is very filling. And so you saw me take a bite of the chicken, so I got a choice. Am I gonna eat the rest of that chicken leg, or am I gonna eat this? Well, I'm probably gonna eat the rest of the chicken leg and that little bit of coleslaw. And then I'll probably have this tomorrow. Well, ain't no problem, I will have this tomorrow because there's no way I can eat all of that tonight. I can't have all this tonight. Okay, so I'm going to spoon this over here into this dish. This is a glass. I say this dish. Now, obviously, if I wanted this glass to be full, I should have used 8 ounces of the yogurt instead of 4 ounces, because then it would have filled my glass. But that's okay. I don't need that much at one time. So this is just enough for me. And I put in the recipe a third a cup of fresh blueberries, but I don't have a third a cup for me because a third a cup of blueberries is a lot of blueberries, particularly if I'm then going to be having it with something else. It would be more than what I could consume. So oh, I can hear Gordon Ramsay now saying, I know you're not going to serve that, Miss Smith. Taz, we just can't serve that like that. I can hear him saying this to me. Do you guys not hear Gordon Ramsay? I can hear him making these noises. And you know the noises that Gordon makes. You know, some of those noises, I love Gordon Ramsay. You know, some of them are not too nice. So since I can hear Gordon Ramsay, let me try to clean this up just a little bit. Because I can hear Gordon Ramsay saying now, you know, presentation is everything. And you cannot be serving this to the customers like that. So even though I am the only customer, I do want it to look nice. Even though the glass is not full, we still want it to look nice. And so I can hear Gordon in my head, as well as my mother, saying, I know you didn't do that, Teresa. No, ma'am, I did not. I tried to clean it up, mother, so that it looked presentable. You know, I was the person that had to, I don't know how I got this job, but I was the person that always set the table for holiday meals with the silverware and all that stuff. I don't know. That was my job. And I can remember maybe the first time she got the encyclopedia out. That's when we had encyclopedia, guys. And if you don't know what encyclopedia is, just look it up. Go to Google or Wikipedia and look it up. It was the hard copy of a Wikipedia. And after about 2 or 3 years, or 2 or 3 times doing it, I didn't need the encyclopedia anymore. I knew how to do the place setting. So here it is. I cleaned the glass up as best I could. Now, here are my blueberries, and we're just going to shake them over here. And so how they fall is how they fall. Oh, they're falling so nicely though. Wee, 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 wee. So you see my little blueberries. Oh, this is turning out really nice. Now we're gonna shake my little pecans here. Oh, I'm getting excited, guys. I just love it. Now, if I was really on my A game, I would have taken some of my protein powdered whipping cream. It's like the essence is like whipping cream, and I would have made some whipping cream, and then I would have done a dollop of that on top of this. So I would have really dressed this up. But this is my pumpkin protein packed pumpkin mousse. We've got blueberries, and we've got, thanks Bernice for joining me, and we've got pecans. Now, you know I've got to try it. So let me make a quick slide to the left. Let me slide to the left. I'm sliding back to the right with a spoon. Now I wonder what this is going to taste like. Oops. And I didn't do it, but you can add a little bit of honey. I didn't do it. So let's see if I even need the honey, because I didn't add it. But you know, you can add it after the fact. Let's see. So I got blueberries, I got pecans. I hadn't tried this protein before. So this is all new for me. I just opened that earlier today. I hadn't tried this protein before. I might eat this tonight and not that chicken. I think I am going to eat this and not the chicken. The only thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little honey. And that's it. I like it. I feel like I'm Mikey way back in the day. I like it. I like it. Oh, you can't see the blueberry. The blueberry, they're not sweet. If they were sweet, I wouldn't need anything else. But the blueberries and the pecans, along with the yogurt and then the protein pumpkin flavor, it's a nice combination. The honey is just gonna set it off. But I would say to you guys, if you were like me, oh, and these are just Southern Grove pecans that I picked up at Aldi's. Well, that particular blueberry was kind of sweet. But since I forgot, all you gotta do is just, and you're gonna see me do it, it's not gonna be much. So even though the recipe may say whatever, but it won't be much. That's probably not even a teaspoon, because I don't need that much. But you do it to your taste. You do it to your taste. And I think that's exactly what I put in the recipe. Honey to taste. And so I'm just gonna mix it up. And I tell you something, I'm gonna have this. I'm not gonna have that chicken. I tell you something. I met a lady in the store, the grocery store, and she told me about this yogurt. And she said to me that if she gives her dog, say turkey or something like that, he would prefer to have the yogurt over the turkey. And I thought, okay, ma'am, it can't be true. It has a different flavor, and I'm not that big on yogurt, but I like this brand. And what I do is I just put a little bit of honey. And that's the reason why just that little bit of honey was all I needed to take this up. As Irma would say, kick it up a notch. That's all I need to kick it up a notch. Because I like this yogurt. I like it. And I don't like a lot of different yogurts, but I like this yogurt. So it's really good. Just a little bit of honey. And now it's been decided. I wanted a Memorial Day, a summer meal. Well, I've got one. I've got my glazed chicken. I've got my coleslaw with my green cabbage, my purple cabbage, my orange pepper, and apple, and green onions, and all this stuff that I told you about that I put in it, including my little celery leaves that I'm growing. And you saw me mix up my pumpkin protein packed mousse with some pecans and blueberries. And this is what I'm gonna have for the rest of the night. I'm gonna forego the chicken. I can have that chicken anytime, but I like this. So this is what I'm having. So if you're looking for something different, but a treat, this is gonna be my treat for the night. So as I'm cleaning up the kitchen, because Mama said that you don't go to bed without cleaning up the kitchen. So as I'm cleaning up the kitchen, I will be eating my mousse and crunching on my pecans and thinking about the men and women who have paid the ultimate price for our safety, for our freedom. And so I say to you, thank you so much for joining me for Taz in the Kitchen. I hope you try these wonderful recipes. They're really good. I will have them in the information. Again, thank you so much for joining me. And as always, before you take care of anybody else, make sure you take care of yourself first. Bye now.